Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there, welcome back.
Welcome back, guys. Please do go check out our website, evolutionaryenergyarts.com, to learn more about us, maybe read some testimonials, and get some insight into what we do when we're not doing videos. This was our Patreon exclusive yesterday. Again, you can join Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Yes, just $1 a month. I hear from everybody out there that there is no other Patreon that puts out as much material as we do for so little. And yes, there are different tiers as well out there with different benefits.
Indeed.
And on YouTube too, we now have activated our membership. So you could join YouTube as a member as well and support the channel. I hope this will come across good. This is an interview. It's Carrie Cassidy with George Green, and he is definitely an interesting person. And there's more science behind this interview, and some other video we have here to bring up to just kind of give you an idea. Everybody has, at some point in time, when we look at Biden, for instance, President Biden said, why does he seem different? And, not that it really matters in the big scheme of thing, or does it? The fact that this auto pen was used to sign off on so many different presidential decrees and, executive orders, etc. What about the fact that maybe it wasn't the exact same person? And yes, the use of masks is one thing, but this article right here, this video, and we have corresponding transcripts so you can go through it yourself. By the way, George Green, derivatives investor, redeemed himself sharing wisdom ETs gave him. Ah, yes, and this is the interview transcript, part 1 and part 2 with Carrie Cassidy. Very, very fascinating stuff in which he exposes the fact that human cloning is very, very real. In fact, they have been making clones since 1938, according to George Green here. He is somebody that has spent time with Billy Meyer, the famous Pleiadian contactee. And let's just listen a little bit over here.
He was talking about being in an audience in which they were given a lecture by a guy that they thought was real and found out later he was a hologram.
It's a synthetic. The synthetics, when you touch their skin, it feels like plastic almost. That's the latest technique. The old techniques, if you guys can rent a video, the boys from Brazil, rent it, because in it gives you the exact way how our government's been making people.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
and the Soviets had a different method called...
making people meaning temporary people?
No. Walking, talking ones.
Meaning through genetics? You're not talking about that?
Well, let me tell you. The movie shows it, but I'll share it with you right now.
All right.
All I need to do is take 2 cells off of your body. Yours.
Uh-huh.
We give them a small electrical charge. I'm just don't act like a fertilized egg. If I got a fertilized egg, all I need is a receiver in order to make it. So they were hypnotizing women, said they were being invaded by aliens. And the fetus starts growing, right? Needs food. Well, they can use cows and sheep, too. Again, a food source. That's all we need. After about 14 weeks, all of a sudden that fetus is gone. Because they've learned to take, that's when the fetus starts developing its own blood supply. Then they've used the pituitary hormone extract that they have, which accelerates the being that grows. And the original technology was given to our government by the Greys. Now, the reason was that our scientists were all excited because we have spare parts. If you need a heart or a liver or anything, you won't have any rejection. It's your own DNA, right?
Okay, because theoretically, if we have overpopulation, we don't need more people, right?
But the so-called elite are selecting on who they want to have around anyway, so we want to keep people going as long as we can. I talked to the doctor that was working on regeneration of Castro, for instance.
Right.
On the DNA sequencing. And they're just learning about this.
Well, my understanding is that a lot of presidents have already been replaced.
That's right.
You know,
I don't think
they're walking around. They look old, but they basically some of the people are
I'll just
second,
give you
third
something
copies.
I'll give you something to ponder. Get some old videos of George Bush, when he first came into office. Look at the person and listen to him speak. Look at his actions and listen to everything that's there. Now, it's a lot easier to put somebody out in front to act as even Bush did. He had somebody else that was up there acting like he doesn't look like that. Even Hitler had he had his stand. In fact, his stand-in was the one that they found in the ground over in Germany. I mean, Hitler and Eva and the dog and 14 other people got aboard a plane and flew down to Barcelona, Spain. You were aware of that. And then ended up in Antarctica or in Swabenland and then died a few years ago in Brazil.
That's what we heard.
I have all the documents from our own government.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a contact. One of our
Stalin
colleagues.
Stalin after they tried to burn the body. He got the body back, and he said we're in different years, and the testicles were different and everything else, so they knew it wasn't Hitler.
But is it a clone or not?
Oh, now going about cloning. Cloning techniques. Since 1938, they've been making clone people.
So as you can see, now the thing that's interesting is this is also a pretty old interview. And I'm thinking about all the things that are coming to the light right now. Recently, again, we've had revelations about the fact that Hitler didn't really, die as we were told, and that he had, again, lived out his life in South America, living quite a bit longer than what the official history says. Other things as well, obviously, we've seen Biden stand-ins, clones, actors, probably all the above, that are like 3 inches taller than the real one. It's just so obvious and acting so different. It's pretty fascinating when we look at it. We've talked about Dolly the sheep. Again, they've let us know going back to the 80s, that cloning was a possibility. And here we have it that we've gotten it from the Greys since 1938. Also admissions recently about, the possibility of creating spares. Literally, it's in the news again. Spare human bodies, clones per se, to be used for body parts. This has been something that's been a slow leak. So again, we see all these conspiracy theories that, one after another slowly get proven to be absolutely, positively, 100% correct. I'll give you guys the link. This right here, Donald Marshall Full Disclosure, and it's a PDF, 111 pages, talks about duplication cloning is similar to a process of regenerative medicine as demonstrated by Dr. Stephen Badilak's video, How to Grow a New Fingertip, CBS 2008 Science Channel 2014, where Badilak says a whole human can be grown in 9 months. On average, it takes 5 months to grow a duplicate clone of an original by means of advanced scientific and technological regenerative procedures. Again, if you want to listen, here you go. We have Regrowing Human Body Parts with Professor Stephen Badilak, and it's right out there. Again, this was published 7 years ago, and he talks again about needing a matrix in which to create the environment for that process to begin, and he explains how it is done. So this is the reality, and then that changes everything, does it not? Because who has ever really, how do you know when you have the original? We do believe there's more than 147 out there. We were talking before, I think 6 or 7 HRCs were out there. And as far as Biden, there was at least 6 or 7, maybe more. And so the reality is, everything that you're watching is a complete illusion. It truly is an illusion. When you go into this transcript, he goes into everything, including, those numbers, those guidestone numbers, the bigger picture. in play. It's just one thing after another. Our reality has been the biggest agreed upon lie that you can imagine. Very, very interesting, very informative, very fun interview. I'll give you guys all the links. And again, it's not that he's the only one you're counting on to give you this information, because many people have been bringing this forth for many, many years now.
While you were playing his video and he was talking, I got some really disturbing images about how this was coming about when our government first got the technology, and it was messy because it didn't come out right the first few times, and there was a big uproar with the morality of it all. So I'm gonna look a little more into that, into those visions, and see what was the structure like how did they do things. I just got a lot of disturbing images, and it was really yucky.
So this is a little bit about him from the website Enki Speaks by Janet Kira Lesson. Says, please take a few minutes in prayers and love to George Green and his family as he begins his journey home. Yeah, he has passed on now, and so he's gone from the circle of those that we have that are still walking amongst us, unless they have cloned him. It's the bottom line. This is a huge wake-up call for so many people, and I think a lot of people don't want to handle this truth because it's very uncomfortable. I mean, it's earth-shaking, for sure. It's reality-shaking. He was an investment banker, registered financial principal with NASD, and broker-dealer, securities underwriter, real estate developer, insurance broker, and publisher. He published the Handbook for a New Paradigm, written by the ETs. Again, many people have been contactees and have gotten information from different sources, and you'll have some people in fundamentalist circles that will say they're all just demons, and anything that goes against the established religious paradigm is going to be written by the demons per se. But the reality is, when you look at what comes across, we see a remarkable level of consistency coming across from so many different sources, as far as the nature of reality itself, the fact that we're not alone. There's so many different beings out there, and there's so many different people that have been contactees of different groups. And so going back to the 1980s, he went to visit Billy Meyer at his complex in Switzerland, began having direct contact with aliens, who he said looked perfectly human in appearance. Green then moved to Idaho to more clearly receive transmissions from ETs. They told him Earth's a prison planet by other species in the galaxy. George rebuilt his world and was in direct contact with Pleiadian intelligences and other beings, devoted his life to spreading the word that all is not as it seems. Oh no, absolutely. And then again, the 300 power, the Council of 300, this whole thing, those numbers, etc. This is really part of a big revelation that, again, is not comfortable for a lot of people to handle. Realizing that our entire reality that we've been brought up with is really a fabrication. It's a story, and that, again, unseen forces are using us as a source of energy. That is very understandable, that it can be very, very disconcerting to say the least. But again, we have each other, and there's no more powerful feeling or energy out there than the love that we can share, and have compassion for our other humans that are still walking in the darkness.
Isn't that cute, those two?
Yeah, absolutely. As always, guys, we invite you to join us on Patreon. Look forward to your comments on this one. Please do share what you think. Source bless, and namaste.
Namaste.